Hi and welcome to another Salesforce Helper video. Today I'm going to show you how to use a loop within a flow. So let's get started. So in the home screen, the setup home screen, let's go to flows and click new flow. What we're going to do here is pick a trigger flow. So anytime a record is triggered, updated or created, you can choose them here. So we're going to choose account and we're going to do updated, and I'm going to put some criteria in there. So last updated transaction date is changed, true. So the flow I'm going to create here to show you how to use a loop is anytime the last transaction date on the account is changed, it's going to find all the contacts on the account, loop through all the contacts, and add the last transaction date to the contacts. So anytime you look at a contact, you don't have to go and look at the accounts. It will show you the last transaction date that's referred to that account. So, okay, we're okay with that. So first of all, we need to get all the contacts that are related to the account. Contact account ID equals the record ID because it's the account that triggers the flow, and we want to get all records, and I want to automatically store all the files. Just makes it a little bit easier. So what we have here is we have the contacts, all of the contacts that are linked to the account that's triggered, and then this is where we loop. So we pick loop and we name the loop. So I'm just going to say loop contacts. Now, this is where we pick the collection that we just created through the get records. And when we picked select all, pick all of the contacts, that makes it a collection. So we're able to select it here. So the get records, we select and we pick done. Oh, just going to rename this. To make it easier to understand. Now we have a account is updated with the last transaction date, which triggers this flow. Then the get contacts goes in and collects all of the contacts that are related to that account. Then what we do is we loop. So what it does is it gets the collection and it gets the first record in that collection, then it loops through it, and then it loops through the next one and loops through the next one until it gets to the end. It goes down here. So what we want to do is update the file on the contact. So how we do that is we assignment and name it. I'm just going to name it assign last transaction date. And what you want to do here is you want to look for where it says loop variable. So this is the record that is going round in the loop. So we pick that, and then what you do is you pick the field that you want to update. So last transaction date equals, and then we want to pick the field that we want to update that record within that loop. So if we go to the record on the account and go last transaction date. So let me just explain what's happening here. So let's click done. So the record is triggered. It gets all the contacts that are related to the account. It goes into a loop. So it's got, say there's 3 records in here. It starts with the first record that it has, then it goes through and it assigns the last transaction date to the field that is the record that is looping. And then what it will do is it will do it again and again and again. But if you don't put this next step in, what it does is it overwrites it. So we have to put in an assignment for a collection. I'm going to call it assigned to the collection. And I'm going to create a variable. So I'm just going to call it a contact collection. And you need to choose record and you need to tell it what record it's going to be. So contact. I was just pick available for input. And you have to tick this button, allow multiple variables collection. So what that does is it allows it to store multiple records. So let's click done. So we've created our contact collection. And what we need to do here is click add. And then we click the record single variable of the loop. And then don't choose any fields, you just click away. So what it is doing is when it's looping all the way through and adding that field to the record in the loop, then it gets that record and it adds it to the collection so it doesn't get overwritten. So let's explain this again. The account is triggered when the last appointment date, transaction date is changed. It gets all the contacts that are related to the account. It starts looping the first record. So within that first record, what it does is it takes the last transaction date from the account and it overwrites that record that is looping and puts the last transaction date from this field into here. Then it takes the record from the loop and it adds it into the collection. So that collection is just building up records upon records, however many times it loops. And that's the loop. So that is your simple loop. And then at the end, what you want to do is you pick update. We're going to pick update records. You can choose update related records, which it is, but I'm just going to, for ease, choose update records to show you how to do this. So I'm going to say update contacts, and then down here, we don't want to say which fields to update. We need to tell it to update the collection. So use the IDs and all fields values from a record or record collection. So we have our record collection in here and we just want to pick that here. So we've got the contact collection. So that's great. We've got our record being triggered, getting all the contacts, looping and adding the fields that we want and adding into the collection. Then we get that collection and we update all the contacts. And that's a simple loop for updating multiple contacts and multiple records. I hope that is a simplified version, and I hope you've learned something in this video today. If you have and you like the video, please give us a like and subscribe for more stuff that I will be creating. And thank you very much for watching this video.